first came to Morocco in the mid-60s in the Peace Corps. I was sent here totally by accident and loved it. I ended up in this village at the end of a career in anthropology and working with women in development, especially in Morocco, because I found they have so much potential. They make beautiful products, but they often can't market them or don't get a fair price for them. I thought by using the internet, they could get their products out to the whole world. I saw there was a real need for them to be able to market their things. I could take their rugs and put them on my website with a picture of the woman and her rug. I wanted the women's permission to put their photos on the internet, but I couldn't just say, can I put your photo on the internet, since they had no idea what it was. I explained to them, being on the internet is like being at an open-air market in Morocco. People walk by and they choose what they want. I'm really motivated to help these women because I see how hard they work in all areas of their life. They make these beautiful rugs, and if I could do something to help them have better lives in some way, make more money so they can feed their families better, I'm really pleased if I can help in that effort. So that's why I'm doing this project.
In my hometown of Kagoshima, there is a sacred mountain range that emits a spiritual energy. As an architect, I wanted to create an oasis here, both for work and for life. I searched for a design suitable for such a sacred place. I called it Zero Cosmology, based on the shape of a rotated zero as a universal symbol for eternal life. It seems as if it is flown in from the future. It exists in the present, but also connects to other places and times. Inside, I can concentrate on my designs. When I need to refresh my thoughts, I enter my zero space. Working here, I feel suspended between the earth and the sky. My ideas are given life. Energy and peace sweep over me, and I am inspired. I feel as if I am part of the universe.
In search of solutions for the world we share. Principal Voices, in association with Shell.
We need a very effective public transport system in any city which is going to be truly sustainable. There is no doubt about that. But public transport infrastructure is incredibly expensive to build. The Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone, decided that he would introduce something called the congestion charge. It's been in operation for these last 3 years, and effectively what's happened is that 20% of all cars are no longer coming to the centre. At exactly the same time that congestion charge was introduced, the public bus system had an enormous injection of investment in it. The result is very simple. In 4 years, the use of buses has literally doubled by 100%. There's one extraordinary statistic. If you take buildings and transport, together they consume 75% of the world's energy. 75%. So just a little playing around with that 75% makes an enormous difference. I think the Docklands Light Railway is a good example of how to sort of stimulate growth at actually relatively low cost. The best solution is that cars are tamed to work within the infrastructure of a city, rather than the other way around, that the car determines the form of the city.
Basin Street, it is a street. You take one form that's decayed, and you take the parts of that decaying form, and you recycle it into a new form. Your spirit goes with that new form. A vessel has to float, it has to go, and it has to stop. It was like a mighty battleship. When that first storm hit us, the first big wave took us up, and I was staring straight down at the bottom of it. I was frightened. The viewing of this raft going across the North Atlantic has acted on a lot of people's consciousness and minds to recycle. We're into scrap material and scrap people. I have everything I want personally in this life. My home is the planet, And wherever I am, I'm at home.
Whatever your journey, keep walking.
Today, an ambulance is on its daily visit to the Mokottam Hills, the home of a community of Coptic Christians known as the Zebelin. The 6,000 Zebelin earn their living as garbage collectors. They depend on their donkeys to cart away the daily mountains of refuse produced by Cairo. Every morning before dawn, the donkeys make the arduous 15-mile round trip from the city back to the sprawling rubbish dumps where the Zebelin live. What the community can't feed to their livestock or sell, they burn. The hardship of their own lives makes the Zebelin determined to squeeze every last effort out of their donkeys.
It suddenly occurred to me to try and enter into the spirit of my characters without bothering about the correctness of how it was done. I went mad on paper. As I worked, I felt myself to be exactly as I imagined a dancer, a piano player, or just anybody might feel. I was encouraged to do more along these lines and did so with energy, reveling in this new and powerful way of expressing an idea that was not dependent upon a joke underneath it, but upon the sheer spirit of the drawing itself. It didn't seem to matter what the subject was. I only had to draw it in this way of getting inside it, as it were, and feeling like it. I'd really found my true métier.
For Bateman, the Edwardian Music Hall was an abiding source of amusement and inspiration. It was a peculiarly British sort of tomfoolery, comical without too much cruelty. Its distortions of reality fueled his imagination. He tried to get inside the characters he saw and portray all their energy and eccentricity in the line of his drawing. The Alhambra, the Tivoli, the Palace, the Gaiety. Bateman filled his notebooks with the stars of the halls and filled London's magazines with his caricatures. The two art forms seemed to be learning from each other, and the public was clamouring for both.
As I walk along the Bois de Boulogne with an independent air, could hear the girls declare, he must be a millionaire. Could hear them sigh and wish that I would see them wink the other eye at the man who broke the bank at Monte Carlo.